A blue wall on Long Island. That is thousands of police officers, friends, and family gathered to pay their respects to Detective Brian Moore, who was laid to rest today. And it is an emotional day for police officers everywhere. We will speak to the head of the Patrolman Benevolence Association, Pat Lynch. And a bit later, our discussion with former NYPD Chief of Department Philip Banks about policing in America, how it's changed over the years, and how it can be improved. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to RFL. I'm Richard French. A sad day today. That is Officer Brian Moore is laid to rest on Long Island.
When the darkness appears and the night draws near and the day
30,000 police officers, some from as far away as California, attended the funeral for the NYPD officer murdered last weekend while patrolling in Queens. Fox 1's Kevin Vesey has been covering this all day for us, and he joins us now live in Seaford.
Well, Richard, Police Commissioner Bill Bratton described Brian Moore as a cop's cop, the kind of guy who loved patrolling the streets and had a real talent for spotting illegal guns and getting them out of the hands of criminals. But he also had a smile on his face every time he went into work, and that is what friends and family are going to remember about him. As many as 30,000 stood at attention while the casket of murdered NYPD officer Brian Moore was carried into St. James Roman Catholic Church in Seaford. In a long procession that made its way down Hicksville Road, a sea of blue parted ways as police officers saluted the 25-year-old from Massapequa who died protecting the city he loved.
Brian Moore represented the best of New York City.
A member of the elite anti-crime unit, Officer Moore had logged more than 150 arrests in his 5 short years on the force and was presented with 2 medals for distinguished service. His inspiration to become a cop came from his father, Raymond, a retired NYPD detective.
Brian looked up to his father in every way and sought to emulate him and did a fine job.
And though he was tough when it came to fighting crime, Moore never took himself too seriously and was known for his lighthearted nature.
The only picture I've seen of him where he wasn't smiling was his official department photo. And in that photo, we tell him not to smile.
And as one more fallen NYPD hero was eulogized, many who gave him his final salute came from across the country, some as far away as San Diego, California.
We're here, just like you said, 3,000 miles away to pay our respects and our dues to the fallen officers, to take care of their families. If they need anything, they can call on any one of us at any agency.
And Moore was posthumously promoted to detective during his funeral, receiving shield number 9002. Shields 9000 and 9001 went to Rafael Ramos and Win-Jin Liu after they were gunned down in their patrol car. Reporting for RFL in Seaford, I'm Kevin Vesey.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Now, when we come back in this program, we're going to have a lot more on this day of mourning for men in blue. We'll talk to the PBA president, Pat Lynch, who had a lot to say after those 2 prior officers were killed and where he thought responsibility laid. He'll share some personal stories also about Detective Moore and talk about whether or not he's changed his mind when it comes to Mayor de Blasio.